Hey there everyone, I'm Spencer.
I'm Lara, and we're Married with Board Games.
We are, and we are counting down our top 100 games of all time. We're almost there. We've got 2 more segments. This one is numbers 20 through 11. So we're going to get started with that. Be sure to go check out any of our other videos if you haven't done so already. But if you have, let's get started.
Starting us in at number 20 is Rococo.
A very fashionable game.
Indeed. We've done a review of this game
Yeah, a
that
long
you
time
can check
ago.
out and see more details about this game. But anyway, it's very Euro.
Yeah.
Extremely.
You're putting on a ball.
You are, for the king.
And you have a ball putting on a ball.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
But you're making dresses and suits.
Yeah.
So you have to compile cloth and lace and thread and people to do it.
Yes.
You have to get apprentices. You have to get people to actually put these things together.
I really like that element to it because it's like a deck building mechanism thrown in there too.
Yeah.
And I really like the way they executed it. There's a little bit of a tweak on your traditional deck building, and I find that very enjoyable with this game.
True. And it's not even just limited to that. There's also decorations to fund and musicians.
And fireworks.
Yes. Fireworks.
Yes.
All this really cool stuff. And the board is gorgeous. And so there are all these places to put out lots of little pieces.
Well, it's a little bit of a point salad style game.
True.
And then the expansion adds jewelry and some different people you can hire.
Upgrading your people that work there. You can
Do tests.
give them tests to increase their knowledge, and they get better, and all sorts of stuff there going on.
This one's really cool, and one that if you don't find the theme interesting, like if you don't care about making dresses and such, play it anyway.
Yes.
Because it's so much fun.
That's not anything that Spencer would enjoy, but you still enjoy this game.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a blast.
There's just so much to explore in this game, and that's why it's at our number 20, and that's Rococo.
It's been a while since we've talked about a Red Raven game.
It certainly has.
So let's throw one in here.
Yeah, we better get back on that.
At number 19, we have put Near and Far, one of the newer ones from Red Raven Games.
True.
I love what they did with this one, that they built upon the Above and Below system, and I feel like they really improved upon it.
True, and I think the coolest thing is how your character can get these new abilities and just become more well versed with where they are and grow with the game.
Exactly. If you're playing that campaign style, I also like how, when you do the encounters, they're very specific to where you are on the map, right? Unless there's also that element of quests following you around too.
True, or you going on quests, like if you do this particular thing and you have to write down a code, and so then when you go to do your next encounter, you're actually on the next step of that quest. It's really neat.
It really is cool, and it feels thematic in that way, that the next time you have any kind of encounter, you're just following along this quest, and like characters that you've encountered before come back, and that's really neat. I also like just this whole element of you're trying to build your party and gain your different items to help you on your journeying. And I really like that too, just customizing how you want to make your exploration party. That's really cool.
It is so much fun.
And of course the artwork looks good. It's a great production. The writing is really neat. And so we really recommend this one, especially if you like that storytelling element in games. That's Near and Far.
At number 18, we've got another deck building game going here, and that's Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle.
Yeah.
We really enjoy this game.
Yeah.
It's just been a blast. We could play it with all sorts of people and introduce them, because it's interesting all around to people from all walks of life. Harry Potter, deck building,
Right.
cool board,
Yeah.
cards. You kind of, spoiler alert, get some dice in there after a while. I mean, it's got all these elements that come together and just make an outstanding game.
And it's really great for, again, if you're bringing someone into the hobby and you want to teach them something like deck building, it really eases them into it. The way that they release the games, game 1, game 2, they increase in difficulty and add elements. They don't throw everything at you at once.
So true.
Which is very well done. And, it's fun. I like the cooperative aspect of it.
Yes.
It's fun working together, finding that right balance, especially if we're just playing 2-player. We think we found the perfect combination of characters to play with.
Right. Well, then I also like the proficiency and what your character can be proficient in, what field and whatnot. That gives them an extra ability or kind of like a character bonus almost, I guess you could say. And finding... We need to do more of playing with all the other proficiencies.
Yeah. Well, and it can be brutal at times, so you really need those proficiencies. Our most recent play, we got all the way to the very end, and then essentially the last turn, we lost it.
Right. Those cards the Dark Arts events can really stack up.
Yeah, and we're excited to try the expansion, the Monster Box of Monsters, so there's additional content there. An all-around great game, and it's on our list at number 18. At number 17, we move from Hogwarts to the Wild Wild West.
Yes.
One of our favorite programmed action program movement games, and that is Colt Express. This is just a blast.
So much fun. Just the base game itself. We haven't even gotten to the expansions yet.
Exactly. You're programming your actions, whether you're punching your competition and trying to pick up that loot on the train.
Or you're trying to move down into the car and, oh no, the marshal's there.
Yeah, you get shot. And I like one of the things that's really neat is that when you shoot somebody, you give them one of your bullet cards. And essentially it adds like a junk card to their deck.
Well, even if you do move into the car with the marshal or the marshal moves into the car with you, you have to take one of his junk cards too.
Exactly.
And so you can, if you're getting shot a lot, you can end up with a handful of other people's bullets.
Yeah.
And then you're just kind of stuck. Well, I mean, you're not stuck. Then you have to spend what would have been an action to draw more cards.
Yeah. This one provides so many comedic and chaotic situations. One time we punched a person back and forth from train to train on the top of the cars.
Yes.
And it was so funny, and it's provided so many entertaining
what
moments.
I've visualized of that happening, the way it worked in my head, especially because their artwork in this game is so conducive to that. It's very cartoony looking, and so then that just added into the idea of this person going like boing, boing, back and forth between the cars.
Yeah. And again, this is one of those where you can try to plan, but sometimes people will mess you up.
Oh, yeah.
And so you just gotta have fun with it.
Just go with the flow.
And we do. Fun. And we do it every time, and we have a blast with it.
Yeah.
And that's Colt Express.
Coming in at 16, a game that was highly anticipated for someone.
It's me. She's talking about me.
I was so excited about this game, and it's definitely lived up to that for us, and that's Adrenaline. And this is another game. You just have to have fun.
Yeah.
But this is for a different reason.
Right.
Not so much because other people are going to mess you up, but your character is going to die.
Yes.
So, I mean, don't be so worried about running away from other people. Go get your shots in before you're knocked out, I say.
Well, it's cool. I mean, it really does feel like a first-person shooter as you play, especially Halo with the technology.
Especially those weapons.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're so similar. Yes.
And I find it very fascinating that it's essentially like an area control game, but mobile. And each player you want to control each player. I like it's so balanced in that.
It's very balanced.
In that, if you're running around and not getting shot, you're going to be the target. Especially because you're worth more points if you haven't died. And so the people that keep dying, well, the incentive is not there for you to go after them. And so you can get beat down, but then there's that balance of, okay, well, maybe everyone's attention will turn away from you because you're not worth as many points. And
it's really cool.
And then also, if you keep getting injured, you can get that adrenaline going. You get to do more
then
things.
You get to move faster and leave marks on people and all sorts of fun stuff. And then, of course, your characters are just those characters moving around.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Really cool miniatures. Really neat. I like the diversity of them. It's not just all guys in suits. They're just like, I mean, who thought of a smiley face robot running around?
Well, and speaking of diversity, the board.
Yeah, you can change it.
How much you can change the board.
Yeah.
I mean, we've never played with the same board.
No, we haven't. Every time we play, it's different.
We always change it up, and that's so cool that they included that in the game. Really enhances the gameplay and replayability of this game, and that's why we really enjoy this, and that's Adrenaline.
At number 15, it's actually one of our favorite games to play two-player, even though it's not specifically a two-player game, and that's Potion Explosion.
Right.
This one is great.
Yes.
You've got that awesome marble dispenser. You're trying to make two or more match up, cause those explosions.
Chain reaction.
You're trying to make these potions with these neat abilities.
Yes.
And what we really like about it, and one of the reasons why we like playing two-player, is that you're essentially doing your own thing. Like, you're not directly attacking. You can attack your opponent if you want to steal some of their marbles, but you're not doing a whole lot to derail them.
Right.
And so there's some player interaction, but not too much to where you get to, like, why did you do that? I hate you for doing that.
It's not a head-to-head kind of thing, in your face kind of game, but it is still enjoyable to play.
Yeah, and you've got that awesome table presence, those colorful marbles rolling down, and being able to use those special abilities, especially if you plan those just right.
It's so crucial how you use those potions once you've completed them.
Yeah.
I mean, so I've fallen victim to it a lot of, I pick potions solely based on the points that they are worth. But I need to do better about also planning ahead of being able to use those potions later on down the line.
Yeah.
And actually using them.
Yes.
Because then I know when we first started playing with it, that was not anything I paid attention to, was actually using them, and they are so beneficial.
And they're, like you said, they're crucial to winning. And we just got to play the new expansion, and that adds so many new things to it.
That is so exciting.
That makes it even more fun.
And so the expansion is totally worth it.
Definitely.
Right.
Definitely.
But we just can't say enough about it, and we're just so happy that it's here on our list, and that's Potion Explosion. At number 14, we have Terraforming Mars on our list.
Yes.
This is a game that I was just kind of like, whatever. I'm one of those people that the game that everybody is like super duper hyped about, I'm just like,
it can't be that good, right?
Right? I mean, I think that's too much hype. It's too mainstream.
Yeah.
I don't like to be that
Such
mainstream.
a hipster gamer.
Yeah, and that's why we waited a year to get it.
It's true.
And we got it and actually really like it.
We do. We like it quite a bit. I mean, obviously, it's really high on our list. I think the thing that is so enjoyable about it is that whole engine building aspect of it. The cards, first of all, making those tough decisions about which cards to buy.
Well, yes.
Not only do you have to buy the cards, but then you have to spend the cost to put them down.
Exactly. You have to have the resources to be able to actually put them into play.
But then choosing the right ones that you know are going to reward you in the long run, that's key, right? Because
knowing when they are not going to be profitable to you and selling them to get some money for them.
Exactly.
And that's what I think has made this game so successful is, sure, there's a whole lot of flash out there on the table that looks like a lot, but I feel like at its core, this is one of the most simplistic engine building games.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of engine builders that have a whole lot of bells and whistles on top of them. Of you're building this engine in order to do this, and this. I don't feel like that's here. They made it simple and easy.
I think I agree with you because it's essentially just cards, right? It's just those cards that you like we said, you buy the cards, you use them, and then those cards let you do other things.
Yes.
And some cards maybe on a case-by-case basis need to have like okay, how does this work? But you're right, essentially, once you know what that symbol means or how does this affect this, it really is very straightforward, for sure.
And I appreciate that.
Well, yeah, and I also like that it's really cool. The game's over when you reach those three, the water, putting all the water out, the oxygen, and then the temperature. So, but everybody is affecting that. So it's not a cooperative game, but you are kind of essentially working together to get to where you have terraformed Mars.
Well, and you have to be watching that. It's kind of, it's almost like a timer.
Yeah.
So you have to be watching how other people are moving it, and you might need to be careful about how you're moving it.
It's very true because, you may think you have plenty of time, especially if you have a card that's got a limit of, well, you can't play this after a certain temperature or whatever. So you think, well, if I can wait one more round to play this card. But then someone may raise that temperature a couple steps on their turn. So you really do, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
And definitely worthy of the praise, we think, for sure.
I think so.
We did get the really cool broken token insert, so if you can get some kind of insert to keep track of all your stuff,
Yes, because there's
we recommend that.
lots of cards.
But otherwise, it really is a fun game, and that's Terraforming Mars. Another Red Raven game
Would you look at that? Another
on
one.
this list, which we've already made mention to on this list, on this particular video, is Above and Below.
There it is.
The
Number 13.
precursor to Near and Far.
Yes.
We're excited to see if there's going to be another preposition and preposition game and what it would be, but that's for another time and another story.
Yeah.
But speaking of stories, this has those stories in it,
I think that was
too.
one of the things we were most excited about was we really enjoyed Islebound.
Yeah.
And to then find out you would be doing that kind of journeying, there's some very similar systems to this as far as like workers and
Right.
whatnot, like you have on your ship in Islebound. In this game, you have your workers of going down in the mines and all that, or going underground, I
Right.
mean. But at the same time, they're exploring, and so they're encountering all these different entities and creatures
Yeah.
who inhabit the below.
Right.
And that is so much fun.
And one of our favorite things to do is, of course, to act out the voices and do different voices for all of the
yeah,
people.
we like
and
to
they
do a
get it.
little bit of role playing with
Yeah.
us. It's fun.
It's really neat. But, I like getting the different buildings that have different benefits to you. I think the thing with this game, though, is I wish that there was maybe like one more turn. It's one of those where I feel like you get to the end, it's like, oh, I wish I had one more turn.
it's pretty. It does feel kind of short.
Yeah.
I think one of the coolest things about this game is how thematic the choices are with each of those scenarios.
Right.
And
like
and trying to figure out which is the right one to pick.
That's a very good point. And because there's almost like some double think going on.
That's so true.
Because you think, okay, the author of the story probably in the good sense of the choice would be this one to go for, but in reality, no, this is the better one to go for. I should have been mean in this instance. I mean, I'm not phrasing it very well, but and then so you might get something cool, but then you lose reputation points.
True. Very
Because
true.
people think you're mean.
But you might have gotten some money out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a lot of possibilities to go there. We haven't even explored all the scenarios yet, which is a lot of fun and super exciting about this game. And so we're really glad to have it on our list at number 13, and that's Above and Below.
At number 12 on our list, All Aboard for Whistle Stop from Bezier Games. This is a great train route building, pick up and deliver type game that we've really grown to enjoy. One of the things I like, first of all, is just the color palette that they chose for this one.
Yeah.
The kind of
It looks very nice.
the pastel kind of color. It's very, I don't know, kind of peaceful looking.
Yeah.
And then I like the element of your lane. Everybody's working together to build this map, essentially. So there you go again with your replayability. It's different every time you play.
Very true.
And then
Well, even the tiles that get out there, because there are more
Right.
tiles than there are possibilities of where to put them, and so there are some things that are going to never show up in one game.
yeah, and
Like stocks, there's
Exactly.
some particular stocks that won't ever come up just because you never got to them. That's how
Right.
they were shuffled.
well, and the thing about those stocks is those are game changers at the end. When we first played, I was like, oh, stocks. I just want to get the goods and then deliver the goods. But those stocks, boy, they come back at the end,
They
especially
can sneak up on somebody.
they really can. So watch out for those. But you're going around. You've got your trains. You're moving them. You're spending the coal. There's some nice resource management in there.
There definitely
That's really
is.
cool.
Not even just the coal, but also those items that you're
Right.
picking up and delivering, of whether you want to go for the stock or whether you want to save them for the end game bonus.
Or you can save, or you can spend them to get an upgrade.
Right.
And those upgrades are really cool too to make your train better. And then you've got to decide, oh, I can't move this train because I can't feasibly, do that thing when I land on it. Or there might be somebody in your way.
Right. Or you might not have any whistles, and the only way to go would be backward.
Right.
And
Lots to
kinds of
explore, and
things.
again, you've got to watch out for what other people are doing too, because like you said, with like those stocks and what they're gathering and the direction they're going, you got to watch out where they're going too.
I think that's another thing that I've learned in our most recent play is don't concentrate too much on just one or two of your trains. You need to get as many of your trains out there on the map, or they're going to get trapped.
Yeah.
And then they will have been wasted and never even get used in the
Yes.
game because they'll get trapped by other players. And so that's something that I want to concentrate more on in my plays.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just learning more and more
Right.
each time we play this.
Yeah, and that's a great, like I said, lots of replayability because of that. Lots of different things, options to explore, strategies to try, and for those reasons, we have it so high up on our list, and that's Whistle Stop.
And rounding out this segment of our list,
The game that didn't quite make it into our top 10.
I know,
Just barely.
and number 11 is Pandemic Legacy Season 1.
Yes.
Oh man, what an experience.
This is solely based on the experience.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just the sheer amount of... it felt, it was a long game, long campaign.
exhilarating.
That's a perfect word for it. The events that unfold in this.
I know.
We still talk about it every.
We just got so lucky with our game. I mean, we're going to be very careful.
Well-
I still think there are people who haven't played Season 1 yet, so I'm not going to give anything away. I mean,
think-
it's been out for, what, 1 year, 2 years?
2 years.
2 years. By now you should know, but I don't want to give anything
Yeah.
away.
I-
But we got pretty lucky.
We were fortunate in the way some things, but we took advantage of those, and that's the key. We saw a pattern starting to unfold in the way that something was happening, and we took advantage of it, and we strategized off of that. So yeah, we were fortunate, but also we strategized too.
Right, and when it came time to choose about what kind of bonuses we got at the end of the months that we won, that was crucial,
Yeah.
I think, and specifically roadblocks.
Yeah, yeah.
When we got roadblocks, we put those in. That really staunched the wound. I will
Yeah.
say that.
It's really cool because I've noticed that some of the elements in this season 1 are taken from some expansions for Pandemic. But some of those expansions we haven't played with yet, so it was neat to see those in here. It's neat to discover new characters along the way that you can play as. It's neat to see how certain things that unfold in the game affect your character in the long run.
Whether it's positive or negative.
Exactly.
Getting those special upgrades for your character or something happening to
Yeah.
them if they're in a city at the wrong time or what have you.
And again, I think your enjoyment of this game is also dependent on who you play it with.
Oh yeah,
We played this together and with another couple that are some of our best friends, and that's one of the things that made it so enjoyable is working together, and then
And it took a lot of teamwork.
Teamwork
This game took a lot of strategy, and we felt we did it so awesome. And at the end of the game, then when it came time to look at score, we were just like mediocre score, but we felt really good about how we did.
yeah. So this game has us so excited for season 2.
Yes.
We are so ready to play that. Hopefully, we'll get to it soon. But I mean, I think this is everybody should experience this game, I think.
I think so too. And honestly, I would be fine with playing a new
Yeah.
season 1 with some other people.
Well, yeah.
Because we know it will be different.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know what's coming.
And
But I will say, it's been a year since we played. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I will have forgotten some things.
We forget, and also if it comes to something that you do remember, you can just let the other people that haven't played make that decision. You know?
True, but again, it's going to unfold in a different way, which
Completely.
would be really awesome to see. And that's the thing I appreciate about for these, and must be so exciting as a designer.
Exactly.
To be able to see that unfold and go, I did that. That's really neat and just fascinates me when it comes to how people design these games.
Yeah.
But it's super exciting, and we hope that you have gotten to play this. And if you haven't, go get your copy, and that's Pandemic Legacy Season 1.
All right, Laura, we've got 10 more games to talk about.
10 more.
10 more, and we'll be
there.
doing that very soon. But first of all, here's my hand. Hiya! First of all, we want to thank you so much for watching this video.
We really appreciate it.
Stay with us along the way. Thank you very much for sticking with us. Now, we mentioned above and below
Yeah.
We did a live playthrough of that for International Tabletop Day this year.
Yeah.
If you would like to watch that, see us do our funny voices and accents, you can check us out on our personal YouTube channel. That's not here on the Dice Tower. It's actually our Married with Board Games YouTube channel, so go search for that. What are some other ways people can find out about us?
Well, they can find us on Twitter at Married with BG. We're also on Instagram at Married with BG. Our Facebook account is facebook.com/Married with BG. And there are links to all of those social media accounts on our website, marriedwithbg.com, as well as our podcast.
That's right, podcast. We just talked about the expansion for Potion Explosion on our podcast. So
We sure did.
if you want to hear more of our thoughts on that, go check that out. In the meantime, stay tuned. We'll be back with numbers 10 through 1.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.